From Darling Stadium in Hampton, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Peninsula District Football, the Hurricanes of Heritage and the Bruins of Bethel High School. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to Darling Stadium on a chilly November night here for the final regular season coverage for Channel 46, and I guess for the Peninsula District, with the Bethel Bruins at 7-2 taking on the reigning state champion Heritage Hurricane at 6-3. Bob, this game is a very important game for one of these two teams, the Bethel Bruins. The other team, the reigning state champion, is not in the playoffs, but they can play the role of the spoiler tonight.
Right. And I talked to Reggie Garrett, and he says, Reggie being a coach of the Hurricanes, he said, I tell my kids, this is a game of inches. And he says, let me tell you, he says, Warwick and us would be tied. If I win tonight and Warwick wins, we will have identical records. And he says, what's really bad about it is if the outside opponent that we played had lost one more game, won one more game, and the one that Warwick played lost one more game, we'd be in.
The power ratings, which are very confusing for those who even know about them, let alone the average fan who may not understand all the nuances, but the power ratings are based on opponents, wins and losses. You get points if they've won, you don't if they've lost, and so forth and so forth. So it's very different to have the Canes, who lost a lot of people to graduation. You know, we saw them once already this year, right, and they were great. And this kid Johnson, their running back, is phenomenal. And they got a good quarterback in Bruce Royal. So they've got a team that can beat this Bethel Bruin team.
Oh, they really do. And Tim, what they have had trouble this year has been consistency. They have not been consistent in their blocking assignments. And I attribute that to having a new coach bringing in a new system. And you know and I know that it's harder for the offense to get into a new system than it is for a defense. The defense is basically the same. Bernie West, who coaches over there, the defensive line and the offensive line, played for Kozlowski at Bethel High School, so I know Bernie, and the system he had when Quillen was there and when Newsom was there is the same. So your defense is still the same. What's changed is your offense. Reggie coming over here from Cox, where he was head coach for 6 years, he brings in not only a little different look in offense, but probably a different numbering system, the holes and everything. So everything is different, and you just don't get the consistency on offense that you do playing defense.
Well, and let's face it, a coach coming from another district, let alone the same district, coming in and coaching for the first time, he's done a great job with a 6-3 record. Yeah. I mean, all things considered, you're never disappointed with a 6-3, potentially 7-3 record. But when you're the state champions and when you did what you did last year, it's got to be difficult for some of these kids because this is such a drop-off from their performance last year.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, but you lost your head coach. Quillen goes up and says, all right, I'm going to retire. I'm going to go up seeing you and help them out. But, and I agree with what you quit while you're on top. You don't wait till you fall down and say, okay, now I'm going to give it up. But Reggie has done a good job. He really has. But, I look at the Bethel Bruins job, and I think Tracy Parker, from when he started 2-3 years ago, he is really starting to understand how to coach in the Peninsula District. This is not an easy district, and that's one thing that Reggie alluded to in the interview. They got a transfer in, they being the Bruins, and Jimmy Williams, and Jimmy playing that quarterback spot has given them that extra edge that they needed. They've got a quarterback now that can not only throw the ball, but can play. I mean, he can throw the ball, but run the ball. I mean, he can break tackles, he can make things happen. And then they had him at safety at the beginning of the year, and then they said, no, let's move him up to defensive end. And then he's playing tremendously on defense. So you got Ananias Boyd, who is a great runner, really compliments Jimmy, and Jimmy compliments him.
Oh, it's, they really got a good-looking team. It's Jimmy Williams. We'll get to the Bruins in a minute. Right now, we're going to go back in time as Bob had a chance to talk to head coach Reggie Garrett of the Hurricanes of Heritage.
Well, first of all, Coach, first year in the Peninsula District, what are your thoughts on the Peninsula District?
I've always known that Peninsula District football was a tough league to play in.
Now, you guys win tonight. You're 7-3. Great season. but it doesn't get you in the door for the regionals.
Right. It's not what we expected at all. We had some close games with some of the top teams, and we just fell a little short.
Talk a little bit about Johnson. Great running back.
Yeah, he's going to have a great future in college. Matter of fact, he takes his first trip tomorrow. He'll be going up to a Michigan State. Outstanding player.
Okay, but you got to have a good line to open up the holes for. You can't have just a guy just run the ball by himself. You got to have some good linemen too.
Yeah, and we were a little unexperienced in the line. We had our center coming back from last year, but none of the other guys had played before. And as a new coach coming in, you're trying different people at different places, trying to work out the kinks. And right now we started to get things rolling pretty good, and kind of all fired up with nowhere to go right now.
Well, listen, good luck to you tonight, Reggie.
All right, thanks.
Good enough. Stay tuned for Tim.
Reggie Garrett has done just an excellent job. We had mentioned that before we showed the interview, but it's hard shoes to fill. John Quillen goes out state champion, undefeated. They just, blew away Hampton 2 different times, walked into the state championship. They were that good. And so the familiarity, just learning the team, the coaches, learning him, the players, him learning their potentials and their strengths. So all things considered, Heritage has absolutely nothing to be disappointed about this year. But it's hard when you're number one and you're not that way twice in a row.
You can end up 7-3 and not make the playoffs, and that hurts.
Yeah.
I don't care where you are. So really, this game to them is, we're going to go out and have a good time. So the monkey is off their back, but puts it squarely on the shoulders of the coaching staff of the Bruins. Tracy Parker and his group, they really got to take their time and say, okay, we can't make any mistakes, because if we win tonight, we can go to the regionals, because to my knowledge, I don't think Deep Creek's going to lose. They're undefeated. They're going to win tonight, and that will give Bethel the first berth in the regional since 1996. Great job if they can get it done, but they have to do their job here tonight.
Well, now let's talk about the Bruins a little bit before we go to that interview with Tracy Parker. But you got Ananias Boyd, who's had the heart situation this year. He's been banged up a little bit. He really hasn't done as well as I think he would have wanted to do. His numbers are just off. And Jimmy Williams has come in. You were talking about Jimmy and his quarterback and defensive end. He is the kind of athlete that any team drools about having. He can go wherever you want him to play. He's going to break tackles when he returns kickoffs. He's going to break tackles when he returns punts. He's going to intercept passes for you. He's going to run out of the quarterback position. He's going to run. He could run out of any position. So the kid is the kind of athlete. I compare him to Carlos Campbell of years past, who was that X factor. He could do just about whatever.
And Jimmy can. Jimmy is a good athlete. And he can play a lot of different positions and play them well and do them better than a lot of people that are playing that position. But his job tonight is to keep a cool head and to make the right decisions at the time when Bethel is moving the ball down the field. Don't try to put the whole game or the whole team on your shoulder and say, I'm going to do it. You can't do that. He's got to rely on the other 10 players out there on that field with him and say, okay, fellas, I'm here, and I'm going to do what I got to do, but you got to help me, because it's not one guy that wins the ball game, and you know that.
Well, and you make a real good point about the pressure. All the pressure's off of the Hurricanes. They're out here, like you said, they're going to have a good time. They want to spoil this party for Bethel. The Newport News schools had tough years in the years past against Hampton schools. Yep. So whether it's Bethel or Phoebus or Hampton or Kecoughtan, they will delight in improving their record to 7-3. So the Bruins are going to have to play their A game tonight, which I think they can do.
I think they can too. I'm looking forward to a good game.
Oh, it should
be. No
win.
win, cold, but no win.
No win. It's perfect out here. We're going to go back in time one more time as Bob had a chance to talk with Tracy Parker, the head coach of the Bethel Bruins.
Well, first of all, Tracy, good season so far, but to get to the regional, you really basically can control your own destiny. I feel that Deep Creek's going to win their game, so you got to win your game to get to regionals.
Well, we're hoping Deep Creek does their part and win, and of course we have to take care of our part, and that's winning this ball game tonight.
Right. Now, there was a nice article in the paper about Ananias Boyd.
You guys want to receive it?
You look at how the numbers he's put up. He's had problems in his junior year with the heart thing this year, but good kid.
Oh, outstanding young man. Has a bright future. We've had a little hardship these last couple of years, but winning tonight and having an opportunity to go to playoffs will be a great opportunity for him and our football team.
Well, I was listening to the young man linebacker Wood talking also. They're saying the season's not over. We win tonight and we go on to the regionals. Tell me what you expect from the Hurricanes tonight, Coach.
Well, that's a good football team. A lot of team speed. Just an outstanding program altogether. We're going to have to play our A game tonight.
Well, you can put your A game together. I've seen you do that. Good luck to you tonight.
Thank you.
Good enough. Stay tuned for tonight's starting lineups.
And we're back here at Darling Stadium. The pregame ceremony has taken place, and the Bruins have won the toss. They'll be receiving to our left. Tonight's contest is brought to you by Zooms, with 14 Peninsula locations to serve you, your friendly neighborhood store. By Pearls, located in Phoebus at 15 North Mallory. Give them a call at 722-1907. And in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at Hampton Center Parkway at Armstead Avenue in Hampton. Give them a call at 827-4670. All right, Bob, we have the ceremony already taken place. The Bruins will receive. They will be going from our left to our right. And we can't emphasize enough how important this game is for the Bethel Bruins. If they win and Deep Creek wins tonight, then the Bruins will be in the Division 6
Division
playoff.
6, right, Tim.
And that is the case. They can win and still not go if Deep Creek gets upset. Deep Creek's playing a team that's 8-1, so it's not a given that Deep Creek is going to win that game.
You're absolutely right.
All right, we're ready to go. Peter Farrell will kick the ball off for the Bruins. It's a relatively short kick taken at the 20, it's just a 16-yard line, rather. Coming to the near side and dragged out of bounds at the 26-yard line. That was number 15, Robert Lewis, who returned the kickoff. And we'll give you the starting offensive and defensive lineups for you. First of all, they've got the center is Simmons. The guards are Nothstein and Lewis. Waterton and Adams are your tackles. The tight end is Overton. Spate is the split end. The wide out is Eccles. Jimmy Williams will start at quarterback. The fullback is Justin Wood, and Ananias Boyd is your tailback. From the 26-yard line, Jimmy Williams brings them out. We'll give you the officials for tonight's contest in just one moment. Play action fake. Williams has some time in the backfield. He's dangerous when he's loose, and he gets away from a couple of tacklers, and then finally is dragged down, but not until he gets almost to the 32-yard line, a gain of about 5 yards, almost 6.
Coming up with the Hurricanes on defense, Tim. They are at tackles. We have Wiggins and Robinson at the ends, Foy and Ward, the linebackers, Gaines, Moore, Wilson, and Mansell, the cornerbacks, Bowen and Johnson, and Stith is the safety.
Gain of 7 for Williams on the play. It was,
I'm just looking, they got 8 men up on the line of scrimmage. They're going to stop the Bethel Bruin running attacks, what they're trying to do.
They're going to try to. They do slow down the running attack. Carrying the ball that time was the big fullback. That's Justin Wood, and he is very close to the first down, depending on the mark of his forward progress.
Tim, Wood had a broken arm earlier in the year and has come back and really played well last game. We're going to have a measurement. While we're having that measurement,
let me also, if I may,
go ahead.
I need to tell the folks who are the officials.
Talk about them.
Well, the referee is Larry Turlington. Lee Richardson is the umpire. Sergio Jimenez is the linesman. Tony Krug is your line judge. Billy Towler is the field judge, and the back judge is Herb Plummer. Get it right yet?
Get him right. Okay, Tim, we'll pick a player of the game from the Bethel Bruins tonight, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc. They're located at the Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Dave Buckwall at 596-8850. T-shirt comes from the Islander Sporting Goods located in Pocosin. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment, uniform, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner.
So Justin Wood's extra effort at the end of that run was just enough to get the first down as they move the chains. Jimmy Williams from the 36-yard line. He gives to Ananias Boyd. Boyd off the left side out to about the 39-yard line, a gain of about 3.
Tim, it's really amazing to look out there and see so many men up on the line, almost at the line of scrimmage.
I don't know whether it's
Am I too loud?
Yeah,
you're too loud.
You're spitting your peas.
Okay.
That's a little bit better.
Is that better?
Well, yeah, my eyeballs have uncrossed. My eyeballs uncrossed after the last one.
You're like
Pocosin Pirates. All right, gain of about 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7. Trips wide to the left for the Bruins. Near side has got Spate. That's where Williams is looking. And he'll throw long. Spate is his intended receiver, but into double coverage. Contact between the defender and the offensive player. That could have been called offensive interference as Spate took the feet out from the defensive player back there for the Canes.
He sure did, Tim, and that was could have been a call. Pearls has been in business since 1947, and they have it all. Drapes, carpet, tile, vinyl, blinds, both mini and vertical, custom designed for your needs. Pearls is located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Give them a call at 722-1907. John West is the president, and Rita Barker is the vice president.
2nd down and 7 on the option play. Williams to the near side has Ananias Boyd, but cannot pitch the ball to him. Ball came out, but they're going to rule, I believe, that he was down. One official is pointing a change of possession, but the referee says no. And
he was right. He was down.
One of the officials did point, saying the ball was the Canes. Watch this and you be the judge. I think he was down.
Yeah, he was down. He was reaching out.
Yeah, but that's a dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
All right, 4th down and 2, and the kicking team has come on for the Bruins as they appear to be punting at this point. Good rush by the Canes. The kick is a nice kick. It's away from the receiver and goes out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Back deep to receive for the Canes was Marcus Ward, number 19. And the punt out of bounds with no return.
I'll give you the offensive starters for the Hurricanes in just a second. At center, we have Atwood. At the guards, Hassel and Burrell. At the tackles, Watson and Glore. At the ends, Wilson and Foy. Flankers, Stith. The quarterback, Royal. Running backs are Johnson and Witherspoon.
And Johnson is a premier running back.
Yes, he is.
This is Royal back to pass, throwing downfield. A little bit of contact again between the
offensive man.
Just a little push there, not much.
Well, he's the one that got it before.
That was Raymond Stith on the defense. And here are your Bruins starting lineup on defense. The guards are Adams and Leto. Christopher Ellis and Jonas Watson are your tackles. The end is Williams and occasionally Derek Bates. Justin Wood is your linebacker. Solomon is another linebacker. The corners are Boyd and Bird, and Brandon Hill is your safety for the Bethel Bruins, Tracy Parker's team. 2nd down and 10. Royal is sacked for a loss back at the 21-yard line.
49 and what was the other number?
Well, we're going to give him some numbers. We're going to put some names with it. 54 is Jonas Watson. 49 is Christopher Ellis, 2 of the young men I just mentioned as starters on the defense, and they did the job.
Both of them did a great job. You're right.
And that was also, give credit to the secondary, too, because he had no one to throw to. And quite frankly, Bruce Royal showed good decision-making there not to throw it away and risk the interception. 8:45 remaining here in a scoreless first period. Bruins had the ball and couldn't move it. Now the Canes are faced with 3rd down and long. 3rd down and about a dozen. They'll do the draw play to Michael Johnson, and he is hit in the backfield but gets away. He is so fast, he gets to the corner but runs out of room as the pursuit from the Bruin defense forces him out of bounds and will bring on the kicking team.
Well, Tim, they never let him turn his shoulders upfield. He kept him going east and west, and great job. He did a great job of avoiding a tackle in the backfield. Looked like he was stopped, but what speed that young man had. I'm very surprised that they came out throwing the ball with a premier runner like Johnson.
Well, you know, sometimes that's what you do. You try to throw the other team off because they are expecting him to run. And they hope to catch the Bruins perhaps by surprise. Didn't work. Oh, poor kick off the side of his foot. Not a particularly long kick. Is going to give the Bruins great field position inside the Hurricanes' 46-yard line.
Oh, Tim, that was a great break for the Bruins. They end up with the ball, better field position than they were when they punted it just a second ago.
Just a 26-yarder and no return, but the Bruins really, after having kicked it themselves, get it right back in great shape.
Talk about the Hurricane coaches. Reggie Garrett is the head coach, assisted by Corey Harrison, Marcus Mickle, Bernie West, Steve Isley, Maxie Anderson, Ken Maggie, Mandrell Blackman, and Andrew Gregory.
Bruins run the ball on first down, get it about 6 yards as they are right at the 40-yard line of the Canes.
For the Bruins, we got head coach Tracy Parker, assisted by Mike Brown, Levi Wakinikona, Jerry Jenkins,
you had that
Alvin Lewis, Adrian Weidman, James Daniels, Wayne Jones, and Michael Mitchell.
2nd down and 4 for the Bruins. Boyd will try to go off the right side, then cuts it back over the middle and picks up a couple of tough yards against that Cane defense. Two of the better teams on the peninsula, the Canes, as we mentioned repeatedly in our pregame conversation, the reigning state champions. They just had it all last year and have struggled a bit this year, losing some tough games. But you mentioned you were right on target. Once again, Bob, you nailed it. A game of inches. You know, a loss here, a first down there, a team that they beat that didn't have as many wins as another team, and they're in the playoffs. But
right, and you know, it's hard for you to understand that while you're playing the games, and that's why when you pick the outside opponent that is not in your district, you want to pick a team that you hope does well and wins a lot of ball games, because that gives you a higher power rating when you do that.
Yep. Ananias Boyd carried for the first down. They mark it at the Hurricane 33. 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Jimmy Williams on the quarterback draw, and he will lunge forward to about the 29-yard line. He'll pick up almost 4 as we are almost halfway through a scoreless first quarter. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz with the Channel 46 crew, along with Bob Killen keeping stats for us tonight. We're happy to be bringing you our last regular season game. As you watch the replay, Jimmy Williams here lunges for that Beantown coffee from Zoom's.
Well, I thought he was going for the fried chicken that you like.
Or the potato wedges, maybe a little bit of pizza. This is Boyd, as Boyd carries tacklers to the 25-yard line. There. Yeah, Scotty nailed that.
You can tell what Scotty wants to eat. Right?
I'll have a sub sandwich, and he said, we're reaching for the bologna. I think you're right.
I tell you, Ananias Boyd is keeping his feet moving, doing a good job. Tim, I'm very surprised to see the Bruins run as effectively as they do against that 8-man front, basically. They've got 2 cornerbacks and safety that are.
Williams in some trouble. He's in deep trouble now. Finally throws the ball away and is very fortunate, quite frankly, not to have a intentional grounding call, but there was a receiver in the same zip code, and that's what saved him.
In the same zip code.
He looked like he could get away for just a moment here, but then it closed down on him. Yeah, he made a good move there, leaving it 4th and 2 instead of 4th and 10, which is likely what it would have been had he been sacked. The Bruins, forsaking any thought of a field goal attempt here, will go for it on 4th down and a long 2. They'll give it to the big fullback, and Justin Wood has the first down and then some, all the way down to the 14-yard line.
Tim, when he got through the secondary, he lowered his shoulders and really ran over one of the would-be tacklers.
Well, you know, that's what the desire shows up in a game like this, where you've really got to win a game.
Look at that. Yeah, I mean, he just bowled over the safety, number 3, Raymond Stith. He said, wait a minute, I'm only 170 pounds. Where'd this guy come from?
Now Justin Wood got the first down inside the 15. This is Boyd cutting to the outside, now brings it back inside, and he will take tacklers down to about the 9-yard line, a gain of about 6 yards. So the running attack of the Bruins right now, at least, getting it done. But this is where the yardage gets real tough as you watch the replay here. Boyd cuts it outside, then tries to come it back inside.
But I mean, it looks like a scrum. There's nobody. They're all holding on to him at the top. Nobody's taking his legs out from under him. Which, you know, if you're a Bruin fan, you say, hallelujah.
Gain of 5 on the play, 2nd down and 5. This is Wood on the quick hitter. He's into the secondary, and he is
scored.
scored.
He wanted that touchdown some kind of bad.
So Justin Wood scores from about 10 yards out. With 4:41 remaining in the first quarter to give the Bruins a 6-0 lead. And they'll try the extra point. A bad snap. Kyle Franklin, who is a quarterback, tries to do something with it but has no success. He was trying to throw to someone in the end zone and just couldn't get it away. So a mishandled snap on the plate causes the missed extra point.
Tim.
Just dragging a tackler.
Yeah.
Not to be denied, Justin Wood for a 9-yard, to call it officially 9. It was inside the 10. And Justin Wood puts the Bruins on top the second time they have the football. A 46-yard drive puts them on the board 6-0. We will have a post-season game for you, as I understand it. The way this thing plays out is either Phoebus or Hampton will host here next Friday night.
Right.
In Division 5.
If Hampton wins tonight, tomorrow night, they will host. If they lose, Phoebus will host. That's as simple as I can say it.
That covers it. That covers it. The opponent to be named. Actually, if Hampton loses, Phoebus will host Hampton here, which would be fun for all of us. All right, kickoff taken at about the 19-yard line. And carrying it out was Ivan Diggs, number 20, to about the 30-yard line. So the Canes will have it for their second opportunity. A relatively short kick, a 26-yard punt, gave the Bruins their great field position for that last drive, and they went 46 yards to make it a 6-0 contest. 4:34 remaining in the first quarter.
Well, I'll be surprised if we don't see a little more Johnson running the ball.
This game videotaped on the 9th of November, 2001. Hope you're enjoying it. Speak of Michael Johnson, this is the young man getting the pitch, and he will not get back to the line of scrimmage, as doing an excellent job to force him backwards was Christopher Ellis, number 49, and then he got help from his friends to throw Johnson for a loss. The Phantoms had great success against Johnson.
Well, and what when I talked to Bill D about that, I said, how did you stop Johnson? He said, we never let him turn his shoulders upfield. And that's exactly what the Bruins are doing. They saw that film.
Loss on the play of a little more than 2. Let's call it 2nd down and a dozen, almost 13. Mix up in the backfield. Royal has the football, and he will be thrown for a loss.
Well, he was looking for Johnson to come around that way. Johnson went to the right. Royal came this way. There was just a mix-up in the backfield where the play was going.
Derek Bates making the tackle for the Bruins. Watch the replay here. You're going to see what we're talking about. They just kind of ran into each other.
Yeah, they sure did.
And Bates had no problem at all wrapping up
said,
Bruce
okay,
Royal.
I could take care of that.
You know, right now, the offense for the Canes looks like they're playing their second or first game of the season, not their 10th game. They're struggling a little bit right now getting the whole game together. Royal short drop over the middle, completes the pass. This is Ward all the way out to the 35-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
Big pickup.
They'll mark his progress at the 45-yard line, a first down. So just as I speak of the offense having some difficulty getting on track, watch, it's just a two-step drop and a slant pass to Marcus Ward, and he got their very first down coming here at the 3-minute mark of the first quarter. From their 45, the pitch to Johnson, and Johnson slips as he tries to cut inside, and getting credit for the tackle will be Joseph Solomon, number 55, but quite frankly, he was just there to cover him up.
Yeah, he couldn't get up and run, so you're right. He was down, and that was it.
So far, Johnson 3 times. As you watch this, he's just going to lose his footing. 3 carries for -5 yards for Johnson, and that doesn't happen very often, except for when they played Phoebus.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
But it's early. 2nd and 10. Play action. Royal wants to pass, does, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver on the right side. That was Foy. Foy to you. Rudolph Foy. Rudolph Foy. Foy to you. Bob. Gotta have some fun here, Bob. We just gotta have some
That's
fun.
good. That's good. Foy on Foy. No, Foy on you. Huh?
Foy on you. That's right.
Not on Foy.
That stops the clock with 2:18 to go in the first quarter. Virtually no breeze tonight. The flags are hanging limp on the goalposts, but it is chilly out there. It's really an excellent night to play football. There's no wind to be a factor for the passing game. Bruins show blitz, and they entered into that neutral zone, and that'll be a cheap 5-yarder for the Canes. The Bruins looked like they were bringing the blitz.
Well, they were bringing 2 of them. Wood was coming, and on the other linebacker on this side.
Watch, you're going to see what happens here. You don't have to make contact in high school ball. You just have to enter the neutral zone. They just barely entered that neutral zone, but it was a good call. So now instead of 3rd and 10, the Canes have a much easier 3rd down and 5, especially when you've got a Michael Johnson in the backfield.
Look at those chains. Look at the third. Look at those chains in the stretch. 5 yards.
Royal, again, short drop, wants to throw. He's in some trouble. Now finds some running room to the near side. Throws back against the grain, completes the pass at the 42-yard line. That'll be enough for a 1st down for the Canes. Excellent job by Bruce Royal to find the open receiver.
Oh, he sure did, Tim. And it was very surprising that he didn't have an ineligible receiver downfield, but the linemen just stayed in there and blocked for him. As you can see, they didn't go downfield.
Raymond Stiff on the receiving end. And the Canes move the ball to the Bruin 41-yard line and register another 1st down. They trail 6-0. We're at the 2-minute mark of the first quarter. Bruins win, they've got a shot at the playoffs. If they lose, they're out of it. And first time tonight we've seen the ball carrier number 20, Ivan Diggs.
Well, Diggs came from a wingback position that time, Tim. It's almost very reminiscent of the double wing formations. To watch him come from the outside, and it's an inside handoff. See right there? Well, actually he came from the fullback spot.
He was right there. But he picked up about 7 on the play. Long 6, short 7.
But they got trips to the top of this field.
Pitch to Johnson. Johnson has nowhere to go. He is chased backwards. He's got everybody on the Bruin pursuit all over him at the 45-yard line.
Whoa, he went the wrong way. Derek Bates, number 14, had him zeroed in.
He kept saying Boyd. This is a
Watch
huge
this,
loss.
Tim. Watch this.
This is what they've been
Right
doing.
there.
to him. Huh?
Bates didn't give up.
No, in fact, he had the right angle all the way back to the 44-yard line.
That's what about.
Well, let's see. It's 10, about 13-yard loss. Well, actually, it was a 1st down. Yeah, 14-yard loss. So it's 3rd down. This is Johnson, and Johnson just up the middle, crosses midfield to about the Bruin 49-yard line, but he will be well short of the 1st down. They've got to get all the way down to the 32, so it'll be 4th and 17.
Well, they had like a 2nd and 4.
Yeah.
And then he lost all that yardage, so he not only lost the yard, he lost the 6 they picked up. What a big mistake that was.
Well, just great pursuit by the Bruin defense. They have obviously decided they're going to key in on Michael Johnson, and so far it's worked very well for them. That is the end of the first quarter, a very rapid first quarter, as 12 minutes have gone by, and after 1, it's Bethel 6 and the Hurricanes of Heritage High School nothing.
Tell you what, Tim, let me talk a little bit about Zooms.
Yeah,
Zooms has given an award to the senior player on each one of the Hampton football teams this year who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded plaques at a school board meeting after the season, We'd like to thank David Allen and Zooms for the continued support of WHCS and our student athletes. And as soon as I can find the names, I'll give you who they are.
You got them there somewhere.
I got them somewhere. Where'd they go? Here they are. For the Bethel Bruins will be number 54, Jonas Watson. For the Kecoughtan Warriors, number 52, Tommy Hammond. For the Hampton Crabbers, number 1, Aaron Whitehead. And for the Phoebus Phantoms, number 9, Marlon Ellis. Congratulations to those 4 young men who will receive an Academic Excellence Award from Zoom.
And you are watching the Bruins side of the field. There is the Bethel High School Marching Band. They're having a good time, moving around, keeping warm this evening. Not real cold, but it's just a good football night. We've been very fortunate. No rain this year.
No rain at all anywhere.
Well, that's why the field looks like it does. There's just... All right, 4th and long. The punt from Ward is taken by Williams at the 20-yard line. He gets to the outside. He's got some blockers on this near side. Breaks loose to the 40, 45, all the way out to about the 47-yard line. Jimmy Williams, that's what we're talking about. He plays quarterback. He plays defensive end. And when he gets the ball on a punt, it looked like he was dead back there.
Yeah, he did. And, Tim, that was one thing that you watched as we watched the replays. One thing you had talked about when we was up here, that, you know, that's one of the things of the special teams that will have a big say in the outcome of tonight's ball game.
29 yards return, and that gives the ball to the Bruins at their 48-yard line. Great field position for the second time. The handoff to Boyd. Ananias Boyd is up the middle. He's across the 40 to the 39. That'll be a first down, a gain of almost 13.
You can see the Bruins are walking with a little more spring in their step. They got a lot of confidence after that last drive, and then, of course, when you have a good kick like they did that time, watch the replay, and then have a nice return, gives you good field position again, so you can't wait to get out there and get the ball and run it because you've had success all night.
Well, I'm also not seeing a very inspired effort on the other side of the ball right now. That's just my observation. I could be wrong, but they just don't seem to be playing with a lot of gusto. But it's hard when you've been eliminated. This is Boyd, and Boyd is out close to another first down.
I believe he got it.
Well, depending on the spot, he needed to cross the 30. Let's see where they mark his forward progress. No, it'll be just short of the first down by about a yard. It should be about a foot, really.
Well, you know, let's hope that that's 10-yard chain.
Well, I don't know about the chain.
We don't want to go by that last week.
Don't want to get into that again. Don't want to do it. Going to stay away from it. 2nd and less than a yard for the Bruins. They're on the move, leading 6-0. Pitch to Ananias Boyd, trying to get some room. He is going to be very close to the first. He will get the first down on an extra effort at the very end there. He was close to it, but that last-second surge got it for sure.
Well, I tell you, they do much better going straight ahead than they do trying to go wide. On this one is a pitch going wide, and the Heritage was stringed it out. He did a great job of finding a crease and cutting it in and picking up the first down.
Mark him inside the 29-yard line of Heritage. First down for the Bruins. Almost exclusively running the football. Now we got an official's timeout for, well, I'm not exactly
it's
certain.
Equipment.
Equipment.
You'll see in the defense.
Okay.
Number 5 had a shin strap that wasn't hooked. That's Jonathan Gaines for the Canes.
All right, we're set to go. Quick hitter up the middle, Justin Wood, and he drags tacklers down to the 17-yard line.
And another first down.
That will move the chains once again. Mark his forward progress at the 17, a gain of about 12 on the play.
And you see they're right up ready to go, the Bruins. They have not even waiting.
No, they're going with a quick no huddle, and now the Canes trying to get a timeout, couldn't even do it. They couldn't
there was one guy was offside for the Bruins.
Bruins or the Canes?
I'm sorry, offside for the Canes. He was almost in the Bruins backfield.
The Bethel team has got them totally out of sync. They have got the defense on their heels. They weren't ready. They've been going with this no-huddle offense, and it's really caught the Canes by surprise.
I'll be surprised if they don't take the penalty because it'll be still first down, be 1st and 5.
Looks like they gained about 7 on the play, but you're right.
It'd be 2nd and 3 or 4 as opposed to 1st and 5, you know.
But I got to tell you something. The Canes right now, this attack that Tracy Parker's got going on here is keeping the Heritage team off balance.
The difference in the game, I think, Tim, is one has to win to get the playoff. The other one can't do anything.
White, still first down.
So
illegal substitution is what that was.
They couldn't get the 12th player off the field. And they really caught the Canes by surprise. They were just not prepared for that at all, and that's part of the reason they got 7 yards in the play. One of the guys was standing, look at the linebacker, was trying to signal for a timeout, and he got run over by Justin Wood. Now the Canes do take a timeout. So
okay.
I think. Let's see now. Yeah, now they have, and it looks like Reggie Garrett is going to come out there and talk with his team and try to get them settled down.
Yeah, because they're in a disarray right now. Carl Pearls for all your drapes, custom designed by interior decorator Ray Paris and Tommy Thompson. They will do a free in-home consultation. Pearls is located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Give them a call, 722-1907.
See if we can't listen in a little bit on the Bruins sideline.
And while they're doing that, maybe we could get Scotty to send out for some fried chicken or some ham and seed subs. You know, just zooms right down the road here. And a little bean down coffee wouldn't go bad right about now either.
Any all of the above. All right, I think we're back to the action here. Timeout over with. And it's 1st and 5 for the Bruins. Ball at about the 12-yard line. This is Boyd, finds a big hole to go through, and he slants off the right side very close to the first down marker. Looks like he has it at about the 6-yard line.
Tim, he followed Justin Wood, and Justin Wood threw a great block to spring him.
That will be enough to move the chains.
Watch this right here, Wood. Boom.
Wood didn't even have to block anybody because he had even a better block ahead of Wood. But you're right, he did follow him and took him to the 7-yard line. It's 1st and goal for the Bruins. They lead 6-0. We're at the 9:47 mark of the first half. Bruins doing it on the ground. In motion is Eric Carr.
Oh, another touchdown.
Right up the middle. Justin Wood from 7 yards out after hitting it from 9 yards out earlier.
We got a penalty?
There is a penalty flag back in the backfield. So I would assume that will wipe out the touchdown, and that's what they're doing. They're going to mark off a penalty against the Bruins.
Got a illegal shift. Green. Still first down.
So you can hear referee Turlington tell you that's Larry Turlington. Illegal shift against the green team. So take the touchdown off the board for Wood. And watch the replay. See if you can pick up the two people in motion. Can't see it there.
I can't see but one.
Wood was basically untouched going into the zone, but that one does not count. So still 6-zip. Spate in motion. Williams back to pass. Has some running room, cuts it to the outside, now back across the middle to about the 8-yard line. And good coverage that time by the Canes. Just really didn't allow anyone to be open. And Williams, showing his senior leadership there, took the ball and ran with it rather than throw an interception down.
Yeah, Tim, but when he's running with it, he's holding that ball out there, and it looks like it's that's a dangerous position to be. See, he hasn't got that ball tucked in.
He always does that. The coach is holding his breath every time. This is Boyd. He's going to race to the corner, and he will get there. Touchdown, Bruins. So it was 7 yards, just like the previous, but this time it's not Wood, but it's Boyd who goes 7 yards to make it 12-0. As we hit the 8:56 mark of the second quarter.
Tim, they're going to go for 2 to try to get it to 14.
They walked in that time. That was pretty easy. Both Woods touchdown, which was called back, and the one by Boyd. The defense didn't look too crisp. Jimmy Williams will try to convert for 2 here. The handoff to Woods.
He got it.
Is he in? Yes.
Yeah,
now
he got it.
slow signal from the officials, but it was eventually
Well, he
called.
fell into the end zone.
I
I don't know
know.
why it took the officials so long unless he couldn't see him.
Here's
Watch
the
the replay
touchdown.
of the touchdown.
And Boyd just raced to the corner and beat the defense to the end zone. So Jimmy Williams hands off to Wood, and he is able to make it a 2-point conversion. And that makes it 14-0 in favor of the Bruins from Bethel High School. 8:56 left in the first half. Bethel comes into the game 7-2 overall, 6-2 in the district. The Canes 6-3 overall, 5 in the district. Of course, the 10 teams in the district, you can't play but 9 district games, so your point's real valid. You've got to be careful about that 10th opponent.
Yeah, you don't want to get a patsy.
No, and you don't want to get one that'll hurt you either, you know. It's kind of a be careful what you do type of situation. This one's taken by one of the up men. Short kick is returned to about the 34-yard line. Coming back upfield was Antonio Scott, number 23 for the Canes. And he'll give the Heritage team good position from their 34.
33-yard kick, 33-yard kick, a 2-yard return.
Just a 2-yard return for the kick there. Looked like he was going to get more, but they shut him down. The special teams for the Bruins doing a good job.
He ran a lot more than that, but he ran coming east and west,
Yeah.
coming west, I guess.
And if you're the defender, that's good. Royal wants to pass. Up for grabs, and it was over the head of Marcus Ward. Contact there, but it was an uncatchable ball. And I don't know that he hit him early anyway, but
No,
Derek Bates has been very active in that secondary. That stops the clock with 8:45 left in the first half. You'll watch the replay here. You're going to see Royal just throw the ball just too tall, and some contact made, but that ball was already past the receiver. Couldn't have caught it with a ladder. Second down
With
and 10.
a ladder?
With a ladder.
How about a net?
Couldn't have caught it with a net. Delayed handoff to Johnson. He got a yard to the 35-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 9 for the Canes.
It was not a good handoff. Johnson was trying to come straight ahead and actually had to sidestep the quarterback, Royal, Tim. Look at here. See,
Yeah, he's playing into it. I'm telling you, they look like they're playing their first or second game of the season, not their 10th.
They really don't look good at all. And I
that's
know
the
Reggie Garrett has got to be beside himself because this is a much better – they look much better when we saw them against Hampton.
3rd down and 9 for the Canes. Motivation is such an important part of football, or any sport for that matter. That's a nice pass, and that's completed inside the Bruin 50-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down, as on the receiving end was Rudolph Foy, not Fooey, Foy. And he's got the first down at the Bruin 48-yard line. Watch this. This was a fine-looking pass.
Fabulous Foys.
Yep. So they're back in business with a first down. I think this last time I said they were doing that, then they turned around and threw it for a completed pass. So I'm going to be quiet.
Yeah,
Well,
you don't. Some of the Bruins may come up here after you.
I won't be quiet, but I won't say that again. That's what
Be quiet about that subject.
That's right. 47-yard line, first down for the Canes. This is Johnson, and Johnson picks up some yardage this time, but he is gang tackled after a gain of 3 or 4. See exactly where they mark it as you look in the stands and see some of the fans here tonight bundled up to keep warm in this cool November 9th.
Oh, it was windy today playing golf.
Yeah, I bet it was.
But I had a good game.
Yeah,
Hit the ball good. Beat them all today.
Any day at the golf course is better than a day at work. I was working today. You were golfing.
Oh, I
What's
never
wrong
thought
with
about you.
I bet you.
Yeah.
For about a second.
Sure I did. I don't even think you entered my – yeah, you did because
Hey,
I was thinking about the game tonight.
Okay, well, that's very, very kind of you. Johnson looks like he might have been shaken up. In fact, 2 of the Canes are down. Johnson is one of them. He looked like he was hurt right at the point of contact, and I can't make out the number. Watch this and see if you can see what happens. He just went down like a ton of bricks. And,
Solomon,
and
Tim.
he looks like he might have fallen on his teammate, 66, Brian Apple. Johnson now is up, and he appears to be okay. He's just slightly limping. It looks like he might have gotten a stinger. And it's actually not 66, it's 68.
Yeah, 68, Tim.
Samuel Clore.
Clore, yeah. He starts on that offense. He's one of the tackles.
So he will come out, whereas Johnson will apparently stay in the game. He's trying to walk it off. So it brings up third down and a long 3, almost 4. They need to get to the Bruin 37-yard line. The ball is just on.
Oh, they're telling Johnson he's got to go out too. They stopped the clock for both of the young men, so they both have to come off.
Well, that's probably a good thing anyway, as Johnson is not doing all that well. So
as Chad Mansell's coming in number 11.
I wondered how that worked. I wondered if 2 players went down, do they both have to come out?
Yep.
So now they'll restart the clock with 6:43 to go in the half. Third down and a long 3. And this is play action fake. Royal, who's found his receivers, does it again as Marcus Ward makes the grab, and he'll have enough for the first down.
Well, I'm impressed with Bruce Royal that time, just 11th grader, 5'8", 160, but he did a great job. Watch him on the fake there. He really hides the ball well.
Don't think he got a very good mark here. He had the ball at the 31 and was pushed backwards, and they marked it at the 34. Between 33 and 34, so he did not get a great spot. 19. So another first down for the Bruins at the the Canes rather, at the 33-yard line of Bethel. And not much work in that time, as the ball carrier is number 20, Ivan Diggs, who might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. That looks like that's about what they're going to give him a little forward progress.
Oh, they're going to give him a couple yards, Tim.
Yeah, they were slow to move that chain over there. Me and the chain gang are going to have more words. As you saw
well, the word was out to the chain gang about how bad you were with them last time we did game.
Saw the Bruin mascot in the picture a moment ago. They mark his forward progress to the 30, so that's a gain of 3. Second down and 7 for the Canes. They trail 14-0 as we hit the 5:40 mark here in the first half. Royal feeling some pressure, does a good job to get open, and then the pass is just incomplete. Intended for Raymond Stith, and a good stick from number 24, Brandon Hill, to make sure if he had it, he wasn't going to keep it.
He did a great job, Tim, of getting there just as the ball did. But 54 for the Bruins put good pressure on Royal, and that's Jonas Watson, who has played an outstanding game tonight.
There you see the story of the game so far. 5.5 minutes left in the half. Bruins up by 14. Joined us late. Justin Wood scored with 4:41 to go in the first quarter. And Ananias Boyd scored with 8:56 to go in the half. Both of them 7-yard runs for touchdowns, and the extra point conversion was missed on the first one, but it was a 2-point conversion by Wood on the second to make it 14-0.
And we're going for this is 4th down, but they're going to go for it, Tim. I don't think they've got a field goal kicker from there, and you punt the ball, you only end up with, you might the most pick up about 10, 12 yards.
Foy was the intended receiver, unless you could just angle it out inside the 10, but you're right.
Yeah, but, at this point in the season, you're not going anywhere anyway. Why not go for it?
Good point. 4th and 7 on the option play. Royal will not get it at all. He may have gotten a yard, but that's it.
He should have pitched the ball to Johnson that time.
So the defense for the Bruins that has played so well this year comes up on 4th down and takes the ball away. Watch your replay. This was the option. And Royal, I don't know whether he ever even had a chance to pitch it on the option, but he never tried to, and the Bruins were there to defend it perfectly. So Bethel will take over with 5:19 to go. They'll start from their 28-yard line. Jimmy Williams continues to be the quarterback. He's got Wood and Boyd in the backfield. This is Boyd following the block of Wood. Found that hole.
Nice cutback.
Yes.
Nice cutback.
I get to talk first, then you can talk about.
No, that was too good to hold.
He had the outside clogged up, and Boyd says, forget it, I'm cutting it back. Watch this. Go ahead, Bob. Talk about it.
Right there. Now watch that cutback against the grain, and that's what the good runners can do and do well.
Good vision downfield. Mark it across the 40, first down.
Well, they got Wood at tailback.
And they give it to Boyd out of the fullback spot. And Boyd dragging tacklers down to the 40-yard line of the Hurricanes.
Oh, what a run. And is he from the fullback spot?
19-yard run by Ananias Boyd. He's running like the old Ananias Boyd we've seen in the
That's
past.
the play that Justin Woods has been running,
Right.
but he doesn't have the speed. He's got power, but he doesn't have the speed that Ananias Boyd has.
So now they go back to the conventional set. They've got Justin Wood, and he gets it from the fullback spot, and he picks up 7 or 8 yards. I'm telling you, if you're the Bruins, why in the world would you even think about passing the ball?
I tell you, I wouldn't put that ball in the air.
No, there's, as Woody Hayes said, there's only
Three
things
things
that can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
2 of them are bad. You're right there. Give me 3 yards of cloud of dust, but what's happening right now is 8-9 yards in a cloud of dust.
Got an injured player. He's going to have to come out. That's number 62, James Waterton of the Bruins. He was slow to get up, and referee Turlington stopped the clock and asked him to remove himself from the game, get checked out on the sideline, and that's what will happen. Spate will set up wide to the right side, but the receivers have been non-existent so far in this game for the Bruins. Why would you?
Well, yeah, and we got a split backfield this time instead of out of the eye.
Yep. Same 2 splits, though. This is Boyd, left tackle. He's got plenty of running room. He's got it all the way down to the 15-yard line.
When your safety is making the tackles, that's not good.
Raymond Stiff, the safety, was the man stopping what would have been a touchdown had he not stopped him. Watch this replay. This is just a straight handoff with good blocking. No, nothing fancy or anything. This is just run with the ball.
This is just basic block and run.
Another first down, and now a timeout, the second of the first half, being called for by the Canes.
Good shot of some of our younger fans in the stands. They got their stocking caps on and their heavy coats on, but they're enjoying the game.
Ananias Boyd, 13 carries, 106 yards here in the – and he hasn't had any, 50-yarders in that group. These have all been – well, the last one, 19, or the one before that.
But they've been under 20 for the most part.
Yeah.
And how many yards does Wood have? Justin Wood.
He's got 8 carries for almost 60 yards, 59 yards. So
Well, see, right between the 2 of them, they're
5.5 yards plus.
almost 170 yards.
Yep. And I don't believe Williams has thrown a pass yet, or if he has, I don't recall.
He's gone back to pass, but, yeah, he has passed one, I believe, Tim. And it was
Williams, has he passed?
hey, don't.
He's 0 for 2.
0 for 2. I remember one, but that was all I could remember. You ask him, and he asked you, right?
We're doing it. 15-yard line, first down. And Wood this time stopped for one of the rare times in this first half, making the stop, number 11, Chad Mansell, with help from his friends. No gain.
There was no hole that time. They beat the blocks.
And they're going to have that happen, but I'm telling you, you don't change from this attack right now.
Oh, I tell you, it's going too good to be messing with it.
So out of the eye, we've got the conventional set with Wood at fullback. Boyd, that tailback, gets the call. Nothing there, and he'll get a yard. So the defense now starts to come alive for the Canes. Of course, anytime you get inside the 15, it's a little easier to play defense.
Well, and I think Reggie Garrett went out there and put a bee in their bonnet, so to speak.
Here's the replay, and you're going to see Boyd tried to bounce it outside.
And
but
I'm
again,
not sure who that defensive player was, but he really took the angle and made Boyd change where he was going.
3rd down and 9 for the Bruins. Williams, play action, wants to pass, got some pressure, got away from the first man, now finds a man in the end zone, and it's batted away. Don't know that he would have caught it anyway, but the intended receiver was Michael Leto. And defending was Raymond Stiff.
And do we have a penalty? No, I guess not. I thought I saw. Nope.
Well, a conversation going on. Watch the replay here. Williams throws.
Well, it might have been roughing the passer.
Yep. And we do understand, of course, by the time you see this game, you will know the results. But we understand Deep Creek is ahead of Western Branch by a touchdown in that ball game, which is so crucial. There is a penalty. They're assessing a penalty against the Canes, marking the ball at the 7-yard line. And
That's got to be roughing the passer.
Well,
Let's see.
Referee Turling will tell us.
Got a personal foul, white.
So
Fourth down.
It's not an automatic first down, however, which is kind of an interesting thing.
There
Because
must be a dead ball foul.
Well, no, it's a half the distance to the goal line.
Yeah, but it was third down, so they lost it down, so it has to be.
I don't know. They did not appear to get the first down.
Tim, it was. If it's a personal foul and you still lose the down, then it had to be a dead ball foul.
But so often a personal foul will give you the first down automatically. But
yeah.
In this case, it was not the call. Here's the replay of the 4th and 4, and Boyd just couldn't get in there. But you know, now you've got the Canes, who have been generally ineffective on offense. They're 94 yards away with just 2:26, and they only have one timeout remaining. There, see Tracy Parker as he is talking to the officials. Maybe he's questioning why there wasn't a first down on the personal foul. But in any event, the ball goes over on downs to the Hurricanes, so they'll work from their 6-yard line. They'll try and get something going before halftime. Michael Johnson will get the call, and he will get out close to the 10-yard line.
Well, Tim, one thing that happens with that defensive stand down there at the 5-yard line where they stopped him, or the 6-yard line, was that's got to give a little bit of momentum coming into the second half. They stopped the Bruins. They're not down by 3 touchdowns. They're only down by 2.
Would have been a big score if they'd been able to get it. There's no question about that. 3 is so much more difficult to come back from. Second down and about 6, and nothing working on that play as Johnson is stopped dead in the backfield.
And one of the players in it looks like number 44, Justin Wood, was in there.
49 as well. We've seen his number, Chris Ellis. That's about the 3rd or 4th time I've noticed him on the defensive play. So
right here. Boom, no, nothing.
So it brings up a 3rd down and about 7. Ball just shy of the 10-yard line. Short 7, long 6.
I would have to say 7.
You got to be careful passing in this area, and that's why Jimmy Williams almost picked the ball off. I think he was so surprised that it came right to him.
Yeah. Well, see, he plays that defensive end. He dropped back in that hook zone and was right there where the ball came.
Watch the replay.
He was turning.
Yeah, he just wasn't quite ready to. He had it. He had a shot at it. That ball intended for Foy, but it was incomplete. And now with the minute 6 to go, the Canes will have to kick from their end zone.
And the Bruins still have all 3 of their timeouts.
And you guarantee that Parker is going to try and do something because he doesn't want to do something foolish and have an interception. Low liner, that's returnable. Jimmy Williams, dangerous. Okay, back here at Darling Stadium.
Oh, they got
Kyle Franklin in a quarterback and throws it up, and Jimmy Williams makes the grab.
No, it wasn't Williams. It's number 4,
I'm sorry,
wasn't
4,
it?
not 1. You're absolutely
Willis
right.
Overton.
Can we get
Scotty, Scotty, you want to give us a return back?
Either that or I'm deaf. I'm not sure. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, now we're back.
And we got an injured player on the field for the Canes, Tim.
23 yards on the pass and catch by Overton. So there is another wrinkle. You got Kyle Franklin, who in the Kickingham game didn't even play a second. He's in the game. He's a much improved passing quarterback. I won't say he's better than Williams, but he's been
well,
used
I think
in that
he's
position.
a better set up in the pocket passer than Williams. I think Williams is more can get things to happen and throw the ball better on the run than Kyle Franklin can. But Kyle, you put him back in the pocket, give him a little bit of time, he's going to find an open receiver. And, Tim, we only lost just what was now 52 seconds started to what, 56?
59.
59, so you 7 seconds, and you picked up, what, 20-some yards?
Can't see who the injured player is, but it's a Heritage player, and they are definitely checking him out. So hopefully it won't be anything real serious, but they're being very careful, as they always are, to make certain of the safety of the players involved. So they've moved the ball from the 40 down to the, looks like to be the 17, a gain of 23. And looks like they've marked between the 17 and 18. So
15, 16, 17, 18.
That's number 7, Tim, isn't it? No, number 3. That's the young
Stith.
man, Stith.
Yeah, he's been very instrumental in the defense tonight.
Well,
for
and he was the
Canes.
one tackling on that play. He plays that safety position for the Canes.
Bob, how do they do that statistically? The ball is more than 22, but not 23. Do they give him 22 yards?
So you can't take it away from him.
Right.
But people in Clark will put down. He was a good man.
Better call a timeout.
Franklin took the snap in the shotgun, and and again, not to diminish his capabilities, but he's not the runner that Williams is out of the gun, and looked like he just never had a chance to find an open receiver. He almost instantly went on the running attack.
Yeah.
So they've called a timeout, have the Bruins, as you watch the replay here.
Well, and then he ends up running into his own man, which is never a good thing to do when you're trying to avoid being tackled.
So 33 seconds remain in the half, and that will leave the Bruins with 1 timeout remaining, as do the Canes have 1. Been a fast-moving first half with a minimal number of passes thrown by the Bruins, and when the Canes have thrown, they've had pretty good success with completions. So.
They really have.
Again, a lot of scenarios unfolding for the playoffs. The biggest one that will affect the playoffs in Division 5, which will be a game we would cover next Friday night. If Hampton beats Warwick, Hampton will play here at Darling Stadium next Friday night. If Hampton loses, they will likely play here next Friday night as well, but they will be being hosted by the Phoebus Phantoms, assuming Phoebus beats Gloucester.
Right.
This is Williams back at the quarterback position. He's feeling heavy pressure, finds Spate for just a moment, and can't connect, as defending on the play was Jonathan Gaines, number 5, and that comes as an incomplete pass with 25 seconds remaining in the half. So 8
well,
seconds.
I don't know which one it was, but there was a lineman a defensive lineman that really put some pressure on him and never really gave Jimmy a chance to find somebody downfield.
So 3rd down and a baker's dozen. 3rd down and about 13. This is 4-down territory for the Bruins. Williams in the gun. He'll hand off to Ananias Boyd, and that play was doomed for a short gain as the Canes on defense read that one perfectly. Rudolph Foy, playing both offense and defense, comes up big.
Well, if they attempt a field goal, it'll be about a 38-yarder.
I just don't see them kicking a field goal. They had a tough time getting a 10-yarder to beat Kecoughtan in overtime a couple of weeks ago. But the final timeout will be called with 4th and 13. And you got 1 second.
Yeah, I looked down there, so 1 second on the clock.
Well, that's what they did, is they allowed the clock to run down to the point where there was enough time for one last play.
And they are going to try a field goal, Sam.
Looks like they will. So they're going to mark the ball at the 27. Kyle Franklin, as I mentioned, did not play in the game, and Justin Wood kicked the winning field goal in that Kecoughtan game in overtime.
Well, now, Kyle Franklin normally is the holder.
No, he's
number
usually he's been their kicker.
Is he the kicker?
Yeah, he was their, no, number 10. Kyle Franklin's number 10.
Okay.
He is the quarterback.
Right, and he is the field goal kicker. That's right. He just never did get it. They were bad snap last time.
Exactly. All right. This is from 37 yards out. It is long enough, but
just
it's wide,
off to the left.
Wide to the left. It had the distance, but did not have the accuracy. So we have come to halftime, and our score after one half is Bethel 14 and Heritage nothing. We'll return to Darling Stadium for the third quarter of action after this brief timeout. the teams have returned to the field. The Bethel Bruins leading 14-0. And again, if you joined us late, we can't overemphasize the importance of this game to the Bruins. They must win this game to have any postseason opportunities. And Deep Creek, we understand, is winning their game, which is the other component that's necessary for the Bruins to advance to the playoffs.
Bruins have to do their job, and that's to win this game. And then they hope that Deep Creek wins and gives them a chance to go to the playoffs. And I'm not sure what their seeding will be if that happens. I think they'll probably be seeded number 4, but that's not necessarily so.
Well, I think you're right. I think the best they can be is 3 or 4, and in neither case they will have to travel.
They'll have to travel. Leading over there right now in their Division 6 is Deep Creek is 9-0, Killam is 9-1, and they both already qualified. Bethel, Western Branch, or Salem are the 2 of those 3 are going to be the other 2.
And Western Branch has to be defeated in order for the Bruins to get in.
Absolutely.
And the way Bethel's played, I haven't seen the other side of it, Water.
Bless you.
Excuse me. We've been doing, how long have we been doing this? I don't think I've ever had a sneeze in the middle of a sentence.
Well, not in the middle of a comment,
no.
Which makes it even tougher. But we will pick a player of the game from the Bethel Bruins tonight, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc. They're located at Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Dave Buckwalter at 596-8850. And the shirt comes from the Islander Sporting Goods, and they're located in Pocosin. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment, uniform, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner. All right, getting ready to start the second half. Temperature, it hadn't warmed up. You got any statistics for us?
Mr. Bob's working on them.
Oh, he's still working on them. You're trying to tell me he's dragging an anchor?
I never said anything. I said he's working on them.
He's working on them. Well, anything else you want to talk about? Oh, yeah. Talk about your need for mini and vertical blinds that need repaired, and I know that you have some that need repair. Pearls is one of the very few places that repair blinds. Give them a call at 722-1907 and ask for Tommy Thompson or Ray Paris.
No, Scotty asked me if I haven't got them fixed yet. My cat keeps chewing on the blinds.
Well, either get them fixed or get rid of the cat. One, you need to do something.
Well, we call him Goat Boy. He doesn't know he's not a goat. He thinks he's a goat.
Well, the second half is brought to you in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, conveniently located at Hampton Roads Parkway at North Armstead Avenue. For a tour of the new facility, give them a call at 727-4670.
No.
827, not 727. 827-4670.
727 is your number.
Staten is the manager.
That's right.
Oh, you just stop by and they'll give you a tour.
Right,
Have you got them yet?
No.
Well, we're about to kick off here.
Okay. I don't need you to explain them. I'll read them. Okay. Heritage, 14 carries, no plus yardage. Ivan Diggs was the leading carrier, 2 times 7 yards. And when Michael Johnson doesn't make that statistic, you got problems. They completed 4 of 10 passes for 51 yards. Marcus Ward was the leading receiver, 2 grabs for 25, 6 first downs, 2 penalties for 11 yards. Total offense, 51 yards for the Canes in the first half. Minus 7 yards for Johnson in the first half. For the Bruins, it was all on the ground. 29 carries, 178 yards. Ananias Boyd with 107 yards on 16 carries. The passing just 1 of 5 for 23 yards. That was that late pass completion in the second half to Darren Evans of 23 yards. 11 first downs, no fumbles, just 3 penalties for 15 yards for the Bruins.
Well, nice kickoff that time, nice and deep. The Heritage is going to take over, looks like about the 27.
It was Kyle Franklin who completed the pass, not Jimmy Williams.
Aha.
So Williams was unsuccessful completing a pass.
He was over.
He was over 4. But they didn't need to pass. All right, the Canes now starting from their 28-yard line. Royal gives to Johnson, and Johnson gets out to the 30, where he's met by about 3 Bruin tacklers.
I'll tell you, number 14 was
Derek
hanging on
Bates.
dear life along with Joseph Solomon, 55.
Derek Bates has been in there a lot tonight. He has been very active on defense. The only scoring Wood from 9 yards out in the first quarter, I should say. The extra point was no good on a mishandled snap. And then the second touchdown, 7 yards by Ananias Boyd, and a 2-point conversion makes it 14-0. And Royal is sacked. The ball came loose, and they say it is a fumble, but it is recovered by the Canes, fortunately for Heritage. But that'll be a loss back on about 10 yards from the point of the line of scrimmage.
Right, and Tim, one thing about that, if you watch this, Royal went back a nice fake, but the Bruins didn't bite. I mean, there were 3 Bruins that hit him, and he lost the ball.
Well, we've talked a lot about Jimmy Williams. We've talked a lot about Ananias Boyd. But this Bruin defense has been outstanding.
Yeah, it'd be nice to just give them a player of the game.
Yeah. Third down and about, let's see, almost 17 yards. Royal swing pass near side, incomplete. And that one was intended for Ivan Diggs, and that'll bring up 4th and long, and the kicking team will have to come on for the Canes.
What a nice job by the Bethel Bruins to not even let them gain any positive yards at all that time.
4th down and about 16, almost 17 to go. Marcus Ward will be back in deep punt formation, and a couple of deep receivers for the Bruins. Jimmy Williams back there,
along with Darrell Jones.
And they kick it away from Williams, and Jones lets it go, and Williams will as well. So a good kick with no return by Marcus Ward all the way down to the Bruin 32-yard line.
I think what Darrell Jones was going to do was become a blocker for Jimmy, and he just let the ball go
46,
rather than try to pick it up.
40. Can't pause like that.
Well, had to take a breath. I'm sorry. I'll try not to do that again.
Don't breathe. You faked me out. A 46-yarder. Marcus Ward with the fine effort to move the ball backwards for the Bruins. Now they'll take over with 10:19 to go in the third quarter. Jimmy Williams will be at quarterback. Kyle Franklin came on in the waning moments of the first half to try and move the ball down the field passing, but couldn't put him in the end zone. This is Boyd, and Ananias Boyd continues to run well. He is out close to the 38, 39-yard line.
Boy, it's just almost like a student body. He's got a lot of blockers out behind, in front of him, and he just follows them. And it almost comes up looking like a scrum as we look at it right here. He just puts his head down, and then there's a lot of people out there blocking for him.
Well, and I noticed that the tacklers for the Canes are tackling high.
Yeah.
And that's going to allow the forward progress for the offense to continue. You need to chop those feet down. That is a nice defensive play by the Canes as Justin Wood has stood up as he hit the line of scrimmage.
Hey,
for
Chad
no gain.
Mansell, number 11, Tim, was the main hitter that time. If they'd have gone to the left side instead of the right side, I think they'd have picked it up. If you look, there's this opening there, but boom, right there.
He did get forward progress to the 40, so a slight gain on the play.
But there were 2 people that hit him that time. It was not one. There were 2 tacklers that hit Wood at the same time.
3rd down and 2 for the Bruins. They want to keep this one alive, keep the ball out of the hands of the Canes. Jimmy Williams got away from one but couldn't get away from another as he is tackled for a loss on a somewhat strange play.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that call. You know, that's if you look at the defense, Jimmy Williams could have done a quarterback keeper and picked up that first down because you had maybe a yard and a half.
But a good defensive stand brings on Joseph Solomon in deep punt formation. And the left-footed kicker gets a low line drive, always dangerous. This is Marcus Ward, and he did a good job of getting away from a couple of tacklers, but then he is wrestled down. I believe they're going to say they got him by the face mask. So they're going to throw the flag, and that will apparently cost the Bruins some big yardage.
Yeah,
and you can hear one of the coaches going off. You're going to have to Calm him down. They got him.
We need a door.
He's on the inside. It won't help. So they got a penalty on that one, a rather obvious face mask call.
And that'll move that ball.
Oh, yeah, it's going to put it down to the 35-yard line. That'll be a huge play for the Canes. Mark it at the 35, first down.
All right, everybody ready?
Oh, now my sinuses are clear. 35-yard line, first down for the Canes. So the Bruins have to be careful. They're not exactly running away with this game, but they are chasing down Michael Johnson, and they will get him before he gets back to the line of scrimmage. They've done a great job containing him all night, and that's not easy to do.
That sure isn't, but they're making him run east and west rather than north and south. They're not letting him turn his shoulders and turn upfield.
He's not known as a power runner, but he's the kind of guy, and we saw him chew up huge yardage against Hampton. But you let him in the open, once he gets past you, forget it. You won't catch him. Loss of 3 on that play. Second down and 13 to go for Heritage. We hit the 8:14 mark here in the third quarter.
Well, look for a pass, Tim. 19, one is wide out on this side. I got trips on this side.
Marcus Ward is number 19. Royal instead over the middle and almost picked off again, thrown behind the intended receiver as well as the defender. Looked like for the Bruins, number 25, Kenny Clark, got a hand on it.
He was running the other way, and it really, if he didn't intercept that ball, it would have been remarkable. But you notice that time he had 3 wideouts to the near side of the field, and he rolled to the other side and had 1 receiver over there. Same formation.
Third down and 13. Royal has some time. Got a man open. He got behind the defense. He's got the first down. He had to come back to the ball, or otherwise he might have scored. Catch made by
I don't
Foy.
know that he caught it, but they're saying he did.
Well, I thought he did, but there's a penalty flag back at the 40-yard line for ineligible downfield. So that's going to be a huge play for the Bruins.
Got an ineligible white, still third down.
So the first and goal is wiped out by the ineligible downfield, and that happened all very quickly. So it would appear that one of the linemen didn't realize it was a pass play or just snuck downfield.
Yeah, and just maybe lost where he was. But yeah, I didn't even see the penalty go down. But that receiver, Tim, was wide open.
They're likely to go back to that, but it is third down now. Third down and 17 to go. And Royal feels some big pressure, and he will not get away. He'll be sacked back on the other side of midfield.
Jonas Watson again, Tim.
Watson and Ellis have just been outstanding on defense tonight for the Bruins, amongst others. But that makes it fourth down. What a huge penalty that was to negate that first and goal. Here's the replay, and the pursuit has just been outstanding. And again, you nailed it. You nailed it right. That was Jonas Watson, 54, on the big play. So now Marcus Ward, who had an excellent 46-yard punt the last time he kicked, will have to do a good job again to keep the Bruins pinned back. Jimmy Williams, the only deep back this time for Bethel. Good high kick. And it takes a sideways bounce, and it will be downed very wisely by the Canes to prevent any possible run back. So good field position for the Canes out of that. They move the Bruins back to the 27-yard line.
If that's good for field position for the Canes, is that bad for the Bruins?
That's what I was trying to say. Well, in other words,
I just didn't know. I want to make sure.
It came out kind of backwards.
Came out back.
It's been kind of a rough day.
Turn around and face me when you talk, okay?
What I meant was the play worked out well for the Canes.
There you go. I'm sure that's what you meant. It just sounded different.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long day. Williams wants to throw. Got a screen pass set up for Wood. He's got it. He's at the 35, the 40, still going. 45, and all the way to the 50-yard line.
My goodness.
23 yards on that screen pass to Justin Wood, who's playing with great inspiration.
He is playing unbelievable.
All the way out to midfield on what looked like might be a nice-looking screen pass, but it sure didn't look like a 23-yard gain until it was all over with. Watch this effort by Justin Wood. He's got some running room. Looks like he's going to be pinned in right there, but forget that. He's going to drag tacklers another 8 or 9 yards.
Tremendous power.
First down at midfield. Straight handoff to Ananias Boyd, and Boyd powers his way for about 7 yards down to the 43-yard line.
Well, they've had tremendous success with that play, especially over the left side of the offensive line, Tim. Those young men are doing some good blocking up there. I'll try to pick up the numbers. Number 62 is one of them for the Bruins, and that's James Waterton, and you've called his name a couple times tonight. 61, also Ronell Lewis. And in the center on that side, of course, also Terrain Simmons.
Second down and about 3. Fumble, and it looks like the Canes might have come up with it. They did. So our first fumble of the ball game. And the Ananias Boyd fumble will give the ball to the Canes. Watch the replay here. I don't know that he ever had the ball. Let's see. No, he did.
He did and got hit.
I take that back. I apologize to Ananias Boyd. That was Spate who handled the ball in the backfield. It was not Boyd 20, it was 2.
Curfew Spate.
Yeah, so they tried a little different play there, and it backfired on the Bruins. So now the Canes have it at the 49-yard line of Heritage. This is a handoff to, well, let's check it. I lost track of who the handoff was to for the Canes. That was number 20. Okay, that's what I thought. It wasn't. That was Diggs, not Johnson.
Yeah.
Johnson was out to the left. Just saw the 2 and couldn't figure out whether it was 2 or 20. That's a gain of about 4. Second down and 6 for the Canes. 5:45 remains in the third quarter. 14-0 is our score. Bethel leading. Their season can continue with a victory tonight. This is Johnson. First time they've really gotten him outside.
Here's the corner.
That's what they wanted, and they tripped him up on a touchdown saving tackle.
Is that Boyd?
I believe it was.
That was 25. Kenny Clark.
Kenny Clark got a hand on his ankle. Otherwise, Johnson would have been gone. This is vintage Michael Johnson here. Once he gets the corner, he is so quick, and Clark got a hand on him to trip him up and keep from getting a score from the Canes.
Well, that was one of the few times that he's been able to get out and turn upfield. But he got outside. They ran from a real tight formation that time. The Bruins were in tight, and he just outran the pursuit.
19 yards on the gain by Michael Johnson. They'll try it to the near side, and Johnson will not pick up much. He might have gotten a yard, maybe 2.
Well, Jimmy Williams, playing a defensive end that time, Tim, turned the play inside. And Johnson runs better outside than he does inside.
Gain of about a yard on the play, almost 2.
Watch it, Jimmy Williams right here at the bottom of your screen, number 1, and see he turns the play inside. And that's what you want to do. You don't want to let Johnson get outside on you.
I think that's what they've done all night long, is they've forced him to go, as you've said, east and west. When you can get him to do that and then contain the corner, you can keep him. Second down and about 8. Royal on a play action, wants to pass, had his man open. That was Rudolph Foy, but he couldn't bring it in. That ball was on the money, and he's pleading his case, saying he was interfered with. The official shakes his head, no, I didn't see it that way at all. Incomplete pass brings up third down and 8 for the Canes.
We used to come in here.
Well, even though it's third down, Tim, they've got 2 more downs because they're not going to punt the ball.
Play action again, and Bruce will not.
Oh,
Bruce Royal.
that was 54 again?
That was 54 again. Jonas Watson.
He's playing an awesome game tonight.
Bruce Royal, and shaken up on the play is Royal. He is not yet to his feet. Now he gets up, and he almost was down long enough for the official to stop the clock, which would have meant he'd have to come out. And the clock continues to move now. Will the Canes punt or not? They were going to. You're right. I think they would have definitely gone for it with a 3rd and 8, but now they're looking.
Yeah, because now you're giving the Bruins pretty good field position. They're going to take a timeout. Talk about it.
This is 4th and 18, so that loss was a substantial deficit, and Reggie Garrett's going to talk this one over before he makes this decision. Gives me an opportunity to remind you that this second half brought to you in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the manager. They're located at Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue. For a tour of their facility, give them a call or stop by. Their number is 827-4670.
And that's not 727, that's 827.
That's correct.
I don't know, some guy said 727 a minute ago.
Was it only a minute ago? When you get me
Seemed like it.
my age, the time just flies, but I could have sworn it was more like an hour ago. You see the fans and the cheerleaders here on the home side tonight. The Bethel Bruins, of course, home team for this contest. Regular season winding up tonight and tomorrow on the Peninsula District. So after consideration, it looks like they're going to punt the ball, but I wouldn't be absolutely convinced of that.
Well, it's a short punt formation, Tim. Yeah. That's not a punt formation. That's a shotgun formation.
Shotgun, but that's not their quarterback in it. That's Marcus Ward taking the snap. He throws downfield. He's got a man open. He's got it. And they complete it for a 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line.
I cannot believe the Bruins let them get that pass. Whoa, what a nice pass that time.
Marcus Ward came in and threw the ball a ton out of the gun. He did that like he's been doing it all year long. Raymond Stith makes the grab at the 10-yard line and goes out of bounds, but not until he gets a 1st and goal at the 4. Marcus Ward is listed as an end and a linebacker, but he looked like a pretty fine-looking quarterback on that play. So the Canes are alive. Big 1st down on 4th and 18. And this is the fullback, Evan Diggs, and he does not get in.
He ran into 49. It was one of the tackles there, a host of them, Christopher Ellis, who we've talked about him more than once tonight.
Ivan Diggs powering the ball down to the 2. Plenty of time left in this game, just 2:45 here in the 3rd quarter, and a 14-point lead could become very brief for the Bruins if they're able to get this in. This is Johnson trying to turn the corner. He's not going to get there.
Oh, man, and they lost considerable yardage.
Great pursuit by 22, Walter Jones, to force him outside, and then he got help and a loss back to the 7-yard line, a 5-yard loss on the play with the pitch to Johnson. Watch this defense. It was a pitch. I started to say it wasn't, but it was. And that's Derek Bates, number 14, who chased him down.
He's the one that was there, 14. I thought it was Derek Bates.
14 and 22. Well, 22 kind of forced him wide, and then Bates had the pursuit to bring him down. 3rd and goal at the 7. Is this a huge series of downs in this game? The proud Canes of Heritage, reigning state champions, trying to upset the Bruins and keep them out of the playoffs. Royal throws. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown. That is Ivan Diggs on the receiving end from a 7-yard pass.
And he came across the middle after Royal started to scramble, Tim, and Royal found him. Great job of him finding the open receiver.
Watch this replay. Look for a moment like they had Bruce Royal. They had him. Watson couldn't hold on to him, and then Diggs on the receiving end for the 7-yard touchdown. Extra point try by Marcus Ward coming up. He's the main reason he's being able to give this opportunity with that huge pass play for the 1st and goal. Ball is blocked. Oh, my, could that be a big factor later on?
Yes, it could.
So now the deficit is 8.
That was Scott McNair kicking, Tim. Who'd you say it was?
Well,
13. It was number 13 was kicking.
Well, it actually should have been Farrell, 18.
But it was 13.
13, okay.
Yep.
Well, whoever it was blocked.
It didn't make any difference.
Didn't matter. He didn't make it.
Well, Scott is listed as a kicker on my program.
Well, you're probably right, because I thought they had the kickoff man and the PAT man the same, but apparently not. And an 8 and a 3 looks kind of similar when you're this far away. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
You're going to stick to it.
So now I think it is number 18.
It is
Farrell.
18. Now he kicks off.
Okay.
13 is the PAT guy.
Got specialist. Well, maybe they should have given 19 the opportunity.
Yeah, let him throw the ball.
But an 8-point deficit for the Canes, and that missed extra. That looked like offside.
It was offside.
Yeah. Again, the special team that time way out of sync. Looked like on the left side, at least one player was well ahead of the kick, and they'll bring it back. We understand Phoebus is having no problems in their game tonight, up 39-0, and they've had 4 touchdowns called back. So,
oh goodness,
Bill D's team on a roll. Now let's see what they're going to do. They're going to have to back him up 5 yards, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Marcus Ward's still on a knee at the 40, but he's going to have to pick that knee up and move back 5 yards. So my buddy Billy Toller called that one.
2, 4, 6, 8.
We appreciate you. Here's someone talking to you.
I think what they're counting the people on the field. It's 2, 4, 6, 8. Hey, who do we appreciate?
That's actually Larry
I don't
Turlington.
think we get that kind of cheers anymore.
Oh, but we get Larry Turlington's whistle. You get to hear the whole thing. All right, let's try it again this time. Let's see if the Canes can keep from going offside. They didn't do it
No,
again.
they went off again.
But I don't see a flag. They should have flagged that one. Jimmy Williams will take it at the 13. Trying to find a hole, and he will not get into the open. He'll be stopped shy of the 29-yard line around the 28. That looked like the same play.
He was more offside that time than were the time before.
Every bit as much, at least. But it didn't get called that time. So here's Jimmy Williams, the ball taking it around the 12, and they give him progress out to the 28. So a 16-yard return by Jimmy. There you see that extra effort at the end. We've seen that all night long from the running game of the Bruins. Ananias Boyd and Justin Wood have just shown that as Williams has all night. You can hit me, but I'm not going to go down without more of your buddies coming up to help out. Williams and Boyd is tripped up almost immediately. In fact, he may have barely gotten back to the line of scrimmage if he did.
Number 12, Marcus Ward, Tim, was the linebacker shooting the gap that time.
Well, that's Marcus Wilson.
What'd I say?
Marcus Ward.
Well, it starts with a W. Just saying if
First
you're
name
paying
is Marcus.
attention. It's Wilson.
Wilson. Wilson Ward.
Ward Wilson. Well, Marcus Ward's down here at 19. So, again, that 19, 18, 13 thing.
15, 14, 13. I know, all the numbers start to run together after a while. Williams gives to Boyd, and Boyd trying to get to the outside, and the Canes defense is really coming on strong.
Really.
Quentin Bowens, number 8, made that stop for the Canes.
Bethel is now, they're not running the same offense as they did before. Just boom, 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 right up the
quick hitters.
Yeah, they're trying to go wide, and Heritage defense have really got inspired.
So now 3rd down and almost 15. Let's call it a long 14 for the Bruins if they want to keep this drive alive. Williams does not see the blitzer on the side and has to hurry the pass, and was well off the mark in the general vicinity of Willis Overton, and that'll bring up 4th and long with 6 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
And you notice Jimmy is running away from the line of scrimmage and trying to throw off his back foot, and Tim, he just couldn't get anything on that ball.
So now, again, wind not a factor tonight, but the kicking game has been less than spectacular, I guess I could say, for the Bruins. This is a pretty good-looking kick from Solomon, but it is fielded at the 46-yard line by Marcus Ward, and he is down the sideline, has got good field position for the Canes, inside the 35-yard line. So plenty of time remaining. Got a full quarter.
Special teams making a difference. And we are now changing quarter. One more quarter.
21-yard return. Let's listen to the Bethel High School marching band. Well, 12 minutes remaining in the season for at least one of these two teams, and perhaps two of these two teams. If the Bruins can hold on, and if Deep Creek wins their game, then the Bruins will play another day. If the Bruins can't hold on to this lead, it doesn't matter what Deep Creek does.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's talk about our crew tonight. I don't believe you've mentioned our crew tonight.
We got a crew?
We talk about them a lot, but let's go ahead and say something nice.
We want to say something nice about our crew.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, Scotty, my man, Bowers is the director of graphics. Andy Foley, audio. Mike Nowinski, the engineer down. Sherrouse cameras are Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, and Ron ESPN. Baton instant replay, Andre Mattingly, and their mobile cable technicians, Juan Brown and Desiree Lewis.
All right, big series of downs here. They mark it at the Bethel 32-yard line, and Johnson is thrown for a loss back to the 35 on a great play by the aforementioned Christopher Ellis.
And number 14 was also there, Tim. Derek Bates.
Bates was there as well. But let's see. I think Ellis actually ended up getting a hand on. Let's see how this plays out. This is 49.
Right. Well, it was 40. Both of them each kind of slipped down with nowhere to go. Bates.
We'll give them each an assist. How's that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Loss of a couple of yards. Second down and a dozen, almost 13 for the Canes.
Johnson's got to feel like, yeah, what's happening here? I was picking up a lot of yardage, but with shotgun.
Marcus Ward is the quarterback. He had success the last time in this formation. And he steps up, got away from a tackler, throws, completes the pass, and the catch is at the 35-yard line, so that will actually be a net loss of a yard on the play.
Yeah, because it looked like to me, caught it almost at where the line of scrimmage was.
They'll actually show him at the 35, so he'll end up losing a yard or so, and it brings up 3rd and long. Now, remember, that touchdown drive was kept alive by a 4th and 18 pass by Marcus Ward. That's about the only time all game that the Bruin defense has given up any kind of play like that. Now, let's see how this plays out. Again, Ward is the quarterback, replacing Bruce Royal. He's got some people back there to help protect. Ward wants to throw long, and he's got Royal, and Royal makes the catch inside the 10-yard line. So Royal moves from quarterback to receiver, and it's 1st and goal again.
Whoa, what and I mean, it was the Bruin wasn't looking for the ball. Royal did a great job of coming back for the catch, Tim.
33 yards on the play. 23? 23, that's what I said, 23 yards on the play.
Well, it started at the 35.
So?
That's, I mean, I can do that math.
34 yards.
Okay, Killen.
23-yard pass. Out of the gun, the direct snap to Ward. And let's see how the Bruin defense reacts now. You don't have that same area to work with if you're the Canes. You know, before you got a wide open field. Now you're down here where the defense can pack it in a little bit. And Ward not nearly as effective running the ball as he has been passing, to say the least. He has kept their hopes alive of winning this contest and playing the role of the spoiler. It's 2nd and goal at the 6. Ward with Diggs in the backfield. Flare pass, far side for Johnson, and good tackle in the open
Jimmy
field
Williams.
by Jimmy Williams. Got him by the shirt tail and wouldn't let go. And Johnson, had he gotten away, might have gone.
Well, that was almost like a flanker screen that time, Tim, but lost. What'd they lose? Back
3.
to the 10.
Yeah, lost 3 or 4. Back to the 10. It's 3rd and goal. But again, we saw the same kind of thing before. They lost some yardage on a similar play after getting a 1st and goal at the 3, had 3rd and goal at the 7. Now it's 3rd and goal at the 9. And do the Bruins have the defense to keep them out of the end zone? Don't forget now, it's an 8-point difference, so the Canes would have to score 2 to force a possible overtime should they get in the end zone. That's a big
And one
should.
thing that you got to put pressure on the quarterback.
And it's picked off. Ananias Boyd with the interception.
Whoa, what a big play defensively by the Bruins.
The young man has been outstanding, more than 100 yards rushing all night, and he plays the biggest play on the defensive side of the ball with the interception. Here's the replay. Ward rolling, looking, and it's always difficult to roll to your left if you're a right-handed passer, and he threw it right into the arms of Ananias Boyd for the pick. So that's the first down now at the 8-yard line. What a huge play that was for the Bruins, or potentially a huge play, I should say. Time will tell. Spate lines up wide to the left. Bruins have been successful on the ground. I don't see them deviating much from that right now. This is Justin Wood, and Wood, the power runner, gets to the outside, and he is almost to the 15-yard line, a gain of better than 6.
And Tim, he's running over his own people. Get out of my way.
Get in my way, and I'll run you over. I don't care what color your uniform is.
Okay, you can lead or you can follow, but get out of my way.
Man, we're talking about a player of the game for the Bruins. We've got some tough choices.
It's going to be tough.
You got Boyd with over 100 yards. You got Ananias Boyd with the interception. You've got Justin Wood with a touchdown and been the mainstay. You've got great defensive play from Chris Ellis, Jonas Watson,
Derek Bates, Chris Ellison.
Back to the offense. This is a first down as Ananias Boyd carries across the 20-yard line. But a flag down. Hold everything. Hold is the word. Holding against the Bruins. Take the first down back.
And that's a spot foul, too.
Spot foul. It's going to hurt. Instead of a big first down across the 20, it'll be 2nd and long.
Green.
Holding.
2nd down.
Heard the Redskins mentioned. I
Inbound,
heard that
hey,
they're
Tony,
absolutely
you roll
not
it.
going to lose this weekend.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Bye's pretty tough.
Here's the replay. I'm not sure we can pick up the holding, but you can see the flag being thrown into that pack. So instead of a first down across the 20, it's 2nd down and better than 12 back inside your own 7-yard line. And this is the handoff to Boyd. And Boyd gets the first down again anyway.
Holy moly.
Not going to stop him. Almost the identical spot that he ended up with
But
on
did
the
you
play.
see him kind of weaving in and out?
He was not going to be denied, and that's the way the Bruins have been playing tonight, is with this determination. Can we give 6 or 7?
Wow.
First down for the Bruins, and the clock moving with 7:11 to go. This is Boyd to the outside, and Stiff tackles in to keep from even a bigger gain, but this is a gain of about 17 or 18 out to the 38-yard line. Gain of 17 on the play. Well, we've seen an inspired team tonight from Bethel. Hope you're enjoying this contest. Tim Cole, Bob Hins, Bob Killen, and the 46 crew. As you see, Boyd just not to be denied on either side of the ball.
He's just playing inspired. He intercepts the ball to stop a possible score, and then now he's running the ball with abandon.
23 carries, 142 yards.
Here he goes again.
And he adds almost 10 or 11 to that total, so make it 150 yards 152 yards as he picks up 10, a little more than 10, looks like. We're going to have to look at this one real carefully.
Well, that was not a good spot, but it's a first down. But
It's
the
barely.
official over here was late getting to where Boyd was. He couldn't keep up with him.
And that was barely a first down. If I was the Canes, I would have asked for a measurement. And now we've got a player shaken up. He was shaken up earlier for the Canes. That's 62, Johnny Bowman. So they're going to.
Well, that's not.
I'm sorry.
Bowman, that's James Waterton.
Sorry, I got the wrong team here. I'm looking at the wrong schedule. Pardon me.
Well,
You're absolutely right. James Waterton of the Bruins. Wrong team, Kimosabe. I did what
It's the green team.
I did what my man to my left did a while ago. He was, the Canes had the ball. He kept asking me, was that Boyd carrying the ball? No. Wrong. All right, first down nonetheless. Williams hands off to Justin Wood, and Wood picks up a couple out close to midfield.
Well, they give him the spot right at midfield.
Has that Beantown coffee come over from Zooms yet?
Ooh, no, but I hope it gets over here soon, because I'm getting a little chilly.
Well, they got chili too. All right. I'll have some chili.
Are you looking for floor covering, carpet, tile, vinyl? Call Pearls and Phoebus at 722-1907 for free estimates. They're located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. They are authorized Mohawk and Armstrong carpet dealers. John West, president. Rita Barker, vice president.
We are inside 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Williams gives to Wood, and Wood is stopped in the backfield, but almost got back to the line of scrimmage. Did a good job to keep from being thrown for loss. It'll be third down and about 8.
Well, that time the Canes crashed a couple of linebackers.
3rd and 8 for
Big
Bruins.
big play.
Big bad play. Clock moving. Each team.
See, if you get a couple first downs, you don't have to score if you're the Bruins. Just run the clock out.
You are correct.
But that's why this is a big play.
3 timeouts left for the Bruins. On the option to Boyd. Boyd's got the corner. He's got the first down and more. He's out of bounds, but not until he's all the way down to the 28-yard line.
Nice. That's the first time that option has worked tonight. They've only run it 2 or 3 times, but that one was a great call that time by the coaching staff. Tracy Parker.
Almost to the 27. Between the two, 27 and 28.
24 yards.
And that will put Boyd up in that 170, 180-yard category now with the 22 yards he picked up that time. How many has he got now for the game, Bob?
Get your calculator out.
177.
Well, you're pretty close, Tim.
Yep. He's getting there, and he's got that all-important interception earlier to stop the Canes drive and set this drive up. This is Justin Wood. He's running with great power tonight.
He's saying, boy, you're going to bring me down. It's going to cost you.
He has just been outstanding. And, you know, on the program, he's listed as a linebacker. He really plays defense predominantly coming into the season. But, boy, he has just added a wonderful dimension to their running attack. And bad news across the PA is Deep Creek has fallen behind, according to what I heard. So that could have a huge impact on this game if the Creekers can't come back and win that game.
The Creekers?
That's what they call them over there. They don't call them the Deeps. And
they don't call them the Deepers?
The Creeper Deepers.
The Deeper Creekers.
Deep Creekers. All right, so now slight loss on that play. Back to the 24-yard line. It brings up third down and about 5, almost 6. Time moving now, 3:51 on the clock. 2 timeouts for the Canes, 3 remain for the Bruins. This is a huge play for Bethel. Jimmy Williams will give to Justin Wood, and he will not get even close to the first down. In fact, he may have only gotten about a half a yard on the play. So now the Hurricanes in a position to force the Bruins into a 4th down and long. 4th down and about 6.
Well, you give it to your bread and brother play. Bread and butter guy, and I'd give it to Ananias.
Well, that's what they did last time when they needed a big first down. Clock moving. Surprisingly, the Canes have not used one of their timeouts here. They're down to 3 minutes and inside of 3 minutes, and they give to, well, Williams keeps it. I thought
he was going to pitch it.
And not even close to the first down, so the Canes will take over on downs at their 22-yard line. There you see the story. The clock stopped with 2:53 on the change of possession. But as importantly, the score I heard was Deep Creek losing their game And that would eliminate the Bruins regardless of whether they win this game or not. So they've got to hope for some last-minute heroics from Deep Creek. All right, an 8-point difference. 14-6 our score. It's been a good game, and both teams have played well. Just a minimal number of penalties or turnovers in this game. Ward, the quarterback, taking the place of Royal, who turned receiver not only previously for that big first down when they were deep in Bruin territory, but he was also the intended receiver that time.
Yeah.
Clock stops with the incomplete pass. 2:49 to go. Tough call for player or players. I think we're going to do.
Yeah, we're going to give 2 tonight.
Tough call for us to make here. This is a real difficult. Oh, pick, almost picked by Williams, caught by Stith, and Raymond Stith is up to the 37-yard line. That will move the chains for the Canes. Raymond Stith. Now they'll stop the clock long enough to set the chains, and now the clock will be restarted. There you see it in your picture, 2:37, and the clock moving. Ball marked at the Hurricane 36-yard line. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to force overtime.
And that's the key, is a 2-point conversion.
And we've got some illegal motion, looks like. Premature
Yep.
motion. So that'll cost the Canes 5 yards and make it 1st and 15.
False start, White.
I want to thank referee Turlington for allowing us to mic him tonight so you could hear his calls when we don't talk over him. 2:21 left in the fourth quarter of regulation. Clock is restarted after that penalty, and now we're down to 2:13 and moving. Canes not appearing to be in any great hurry, although they should be. They've got about 6.
And they're moving again.
Moving again, and a high snap. The ball is still up for grabs. Do the Bruins have it? Now, will it be no play was the only question. Will the illegal procedure be a dead ball situation? And that would be the huge advantage for the Canes.
Yeah, it will be. It'll go into their favor.
And that's what it is.
False start, White.
So the fumble recovery is negated by a dead ball foul since there was no play. Now, had it been against the defense, the play would have been allowed to run.
Right.
But then they wouldn't have gotten the fumble recovery. So, because
a lot of time is going off the clock, and they haven't run a play.
Yeah, I mean, this is consecutive downs, and now we're inside of 2 minutes, and Ward just gets the pass away to Ivan Diggs, and he will not get away again. Williams must have extremely strong hands because he's latching onto the jersey and just being dragged.
Well, again, Tim, they got 2 timeouts left, the Canes, but they're not using them.
And they've got 1:31 to go, and it's 2nd down and a mile, 2nd and 20 for the Hurricanes. And again, out of the gun, trips to the near side. Ward back to pass, throws long, and it is short of his intended receiver, Raymond Stith.
He really threw that before he wanted to, but he got some tremendous heat that time from the defense.
I'll take some of that heat.
It's not that kind of heat you don't want.
It's chilly.
They will chase you down.
Do they have chili at Zooms?
I don't know if they got chili or not, but I can sure stand some. But they've got some good Beantown coffee, fried chicken, potato wedges, crispy cream donuts. I love them. Ham and cheese sub, Coke, and of course you can fill up with Zipco gas.
3rd down and 22. Ward out of the gun. Getting pressure from Jonas Watson. Gets away from him. Has some running room, but he will not get nearly enough as he gets out to the 29-yard line. Have to go all the way out to the 47, and it'll be 4th down and a huge 4th down, and going to have to get my calculator out for this. Is that the 29? Then you get to the, so it's 4th down and 18 to go.
4th and long, as the announcer says.
4th and long. That's an easy way to.
Well, Tim, let's.
All right, we're going to return to Darling Stadium with the conclusion of tonight's contest after this brief timeout. All right, there you see some of the younger fans in the stands.
Tim,
enjoying
we
this
would like
contest.
to go ahead and announce our players of the game tonight. We're going to pick 2 from the Bethel Bruins, Ananias Boyd and Jonas Watson.
And let me say, this was not a clear-cut, easy.
Oh, no, Justin
Wood has
Jimmy
played
Williams,
great.
Christopher Ellis.
Christopher Ellis, really.
Yeah, Derek Bates, Solomon, Brandon Hill.
4th and long, and that is going to be no good. Incomplete pass. I'm not sure what that play was.
It was not pretty. It was not pretty.
That's what I heard. So the Bruins take over on downs. It looked like Ward threw a pass to 20, Diggs, who tried to throw another pass. See if you can see what happens here. This is the replay. They're in the shotgun. He threw it to Diggs, who then threw another pass. You can't do that.
That was
You can't have
intentional grounding.
Yes, you can't have 2 forward passes. Well, they just ruled it was an incomplete pass of an incomplete pass, I guess.
Yeah, I think they blew it, but that's okay. The Bruins don't care.
Doesn't matter to the Bruins. What does matter is the Deep Creek game is still going on, and Deep Creek is still behind in that game, 17-14. And now Williams just takes a knee. The Canes can call 2 timeouts. At least that's what's on the board, but I don't think they will, because eventually Bethel could simply run the clock out. And I think Reggie Garrett is just going to concede the game at this point. So we will probably go off the air before we know the final score of Deep Creek against, who were they playing?
Western Branch?
Western Branch.
I think.
Bruins, again, just take a knee, and a flag comes down, which will stop the clock. We might have had an offsides against the Canes. Some balloons, and Tracy Parker just got a shower from the team with the Gatorade bucket over there. They just grazed him with some that cold beverage. So they, penalty against the Canes, 5-yard penalty for encroachment. So now the Bruins don't even have to call another play with 7 seconds on the clock and the clock moving, and the players start to congratulate each other, and good sportsmanship. We always like to see that.
Yeah.
So the Bethel Bruins do what they need to do, which is win the contest, and now they've got to rely on Deep Creek to come from behind and see what happens. But the Canes finish the season at 6-4, and the Bruins' regular season ends at 8-2, and time will tell whether or not they'll get a chance to play next week or not. Our players of the game, again, Jonas Watson and Ananias Boyd. A superb effort by both of those young men.
Absolutely.
And as well as others that seriously were in deep consideration for that Player of the Game award. Tonight's game brought to you by Zooms, with 14 friendly neighborhood stores to serve you. Also by Pearls, located at 15 North Mallory. Give them a call at 722-1907. You're messing with me, bud. And in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home.
You're supposed to have it over there.
I got it over there, 827-4670. All right, that's going to do it for us. The Bruins win 14-6. Their hopes are still alive, and we will be back here next Friday night to cover a playoff game here at Darling Stadium. The combatants to be determined. The final score again, Bethel 14, Heritage 6. For Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and the entire 46 crew, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.